Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Becoming Attached, First Relationships and How They Shape Our Capacity to Love, Second Edition, by Robert Karen, PhD, narrated by Adam Barr. Author's Note: the use of the word mother in attachment theory has been a source of controversy. Attachment researchers have labored to identify the long-term impact of what parents do and how their psychological beings shape their children. But especially in the early days, the discussion tended to be focused so exclusively on the mother, it sometimes gave the false impression that only she was equipped to do the job, whether she wanted it, could handle it, could afford it, or not. In this book, I, too, will speak frequently of the mother. There's no way around that, given the nature of the research, who was generally doing the mothering, and who has been available for study. But I will also speak frequently of the primary caregiver, and I will periodically remind the listener that what we say about mothers applies to anyone of any sex who is doing the primary or secondary job of raising a young child. Similarly, it is important when describing child development research that one not give the impression one speaks only of boys. Yet this can be the effect of the excessive use of he as the universal pronoun. In the chapters that follow, when discussing children, I will attempt an equal distribution of male and female pronouns. But in any particular case, whether talking about he, she, or it, I am, in virtually every case, referring to all children. Toward the second half of the book, I will bring in the experiences of children and adults I've worked with in therapy to illustrate attachment themes. However, the patient histories are best considered useful fictions. I might have described them as disguised, but that would not do justice to the degree of invention at work in some of these anecdotes. I hope I have, nevertheless, done justice to the emotional and psychological truths I wish to convey. What's new in this new edition? In 30 years, much has changed. Old assumptions have been revised or rethought. New findings have arisen, some of them absorbed from adjacent fields like affective neurobiology, and my own thinking and experience have evolved. This has led to additions and revisions throughout the book, and the creation of 12 new chapters to deal with new thinking on security and insecurity, and how these two sides of us evolve. Chapter 37, for example, All the Discomforts of Home, and Chapter 38, Beckoning, lean on elements of attachment theory to explore growth and stagnation in adulthood. Introduction. Does love matter? Love is the good we all search for, and yet we have different conceptions and misconceptions about what it is. Ambivalence about how close we want to get to it. Doubts about whether we can achieve it or even deserve it. Some of us repeat futile patterns with intimates, mates, and children, to the point where we may question whether we are capable of close, satisfying relationships at all. At times it feels as if the shadow of our parents hangs over us like a fate we cannot elude. And we wonder, how much do our childhoods, and especially the quality of our first loving bonds, determine whether we can get love right as adults? When my son was 2.5, I saw a slightly older boy, perhaps 3, fall off a slide in the playground and bloody his lip. He stood, threw his arms in the air, and started wailing. But he made no effort to approach or attract or even look toward his mother, who was sitting nearby on the bench. She promptly retrieved him, though, and sat him on her lap. The boy continued to wail miserably, his body stiffly unengaged with hers, such that one might have thought he was being held by an unwanted stranger. The mother, meanwhile, rummaged through her bag looking for a tissue, all the while lecturing in a
Sample complete. Ready to continue?